hand in hand with a lockdown. Now, in September, we were hoping there wouldn't be a second lockdown. If one is required, then a blunt economic instrument is required to resolve that. But clearly, more specific, more targeted packages are better and work commensurately with a tiered approach, for example.
Well, why are you arguing for furlough now, given that you and your colleagues voted against a furlough extension in the Scottish Parliament in September, yet you're now arguing for it? What's changed?
The furlough goes hand in hand with the lockdown. So now with the prospect of a second lockdown, then furlough is a specific economic package that works equally well with a lockdown. If we're speaking about tiered approach at a localised geographic level or sector support level, then clearly your economic policies will be commensurate with that.
Well, you told us a little earlier that the Prime Minister was wrong to rule out the prospect of a lockdown. So I presume when we go back to September and you were voting against the extension of furlough because you didn't expect another lockdown, you were wrong too.
I was voting on a motion put down by the SNP which was disparaging of the UK government, and clearly furlough wasn't just a part of that. So I think
so you sacrificed the notion of extending furlough because of disparaging remarks from the SNP about the Westminster Bill?
No, the nature of the motion was something I can't support, and if you can't support the wording of the motion, we saw it just last week where Nicola Sturgeon agreed broadly with our amendment but then voted it down. We've seen SNP MSPs both speaking favourably against amendments in my name, then voting against it. That's the nature. If there's particular wording in a motion that you can't agree with, then you shouldn't vote for it. But just to be clear, furlough going hand in hand with the second lockdown is something that I have consistently supported, that Scottish Conservative has consistently supported, and Douglas Ross ensured that furlough extended to protect Scottish workers. 1 million jobs have already been protected by furlough. It's something that we have won over the past couple of days, and that's a real benefit to Scottish workers.
Maurice Golden, the Scottish Conservative spokesperson for the Fair Work. Thank you for your time this morning.
Time now, 8:45, and the rail line between Aberdeen and Dundee has reopened this morning, almost 3 months after a train crash which left 3 people dead. Our reporter Ben Phillip joins us now from Aberdeen. Morning to you, Ben. It's hard to believe that it's almost 3 months.
It certainly is, Laura. It was back on the 12th of August, an early morning, ScotRail Aberdeen to Glasgow service which derailed near Stonehaven in Aberdeenshire. There had been really heavy rain that morning with localised flooding in the area, and an interim report into the crash said the train hit washed out rocks and gravel, in other words, a landslide. It resulted in the death of 3 people, the driver Brett McCulloch, conductor Donald Diddy and passenger Christopher Stoothbury. 6 other people were injured. I was near the crash site soon after it happened, and I was met with a scene of more than 30 emergency vehicles, including air ambulances, tackling what was a highly complex situation in a very remote area of the country. The train had caught fire and thick black smoke was billowing from a tree-lined area where the track runs. We now know the train had actually been stopped for some time after reports of a landslip ahead. It was then turned back towards Aberdeen when it hit a separate landslip and derailed, colliding with the side of a bridge and a number of the carriages falling down a muddy embankment. It's been a lengthy process getting to this point while investigations were carried out, specialist engineers removing the carriages from that remote area and also damaged tracks being repaired, and more than 500 metres of track have now been replaced, as well as improvements to drainage systems, which has allowed the line to reopen today.
And what sort of response has there been following this incident, Ben?
Well, it certainly shocked people here in the northeast area, but also the rail industry as well. Thankfully, train crashes in the UK in the modern day are very rare. The latest, or the last derailment which resulted in fatalities before this had been in 2004 in England. An incident report commissioned by Network Rail said that the impact of climate change on its network is an area that is accelerating faster than expected. So whether really was a big factor in this particular instance. It said that it showed that the industry must improve its response to extreme weather, and Network Rail commissioned engineers and experts to assess the current controls and management in place for its earthworks, and highlighted that more technology was needed across the network to predict failures, along with better weather forecasting to make important decisions in advance. And since the crash, I think we've certainly seen a more cautious approach taken by Network Rail in recent weeks. Lines have been closed during torrential rain here in Scotland.